Monza, 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 the Temple of Speed. Your choice, you can pray in KPH or you want to pray in MPH. Regardless, you're going to be reaching the toppers of the top speeds around here in Monza into turn 1. Shenanigans as always. Let's hope to avoid collisions. Joining me today, as usual, probably in a short while, will be Zatak. In the meanwhile, we have 13 drivers out on track in Monza short qualifying. Levi Tigerpan joins, and that makes it 14 drivers for today. Quite a stacked grid for Monza. Turn 1 is going to be a contesting slot. Overtaking difficulty, well, you can put it as easy as you like it. Downforce levels, as low as could get. Following through the corners, well, that's the challenge around here. How much downforce do you need to follow? How much straight line speed do you need to stay alive or even attack on the straights? We'll find out shortly as we head into short qualifying of Bwoah Racing League season number 6, round number 17, Italian GP. Here we go in a sunny Monza. Well, Ferrari's base is not too far away. Unfortunately, we don't have a Ferrari driver out on track. Perhaps the AlphaTauri boys are representing the home team, RB Ferrello, that being the only AlphaTauri driver for the day. Well, perhaps he could come up with a spectacular show once again. Last time out in the Dutch GP, RB Ferrello, Signic, Big Man Joey, many more had a chance at the win. But it was Mr. Vex, of all people. He made it through and he won the race. So let's hope this time around we could get another surprise, or could someone beat Envy once again. Mr. Vex showed us last time out that Envy is not unbeatable. It just takes a little bit of luck and some good strategy out on track to make it work. Soft tires, obviously, except for Streeter, who's possibly just attempting to get some tire temperatures, get some rubber on track. I don't know why is he on hards, but we will find out shortly as the first few drivers are going out onto the track. Signic, as usual, being the first one. Well, not the first one this time. What it is, his teammate Cuba Abi out in front to get some early laps, rubber down onto the track, and get some experience out on track here. Here we go, Kuberabi about to start his first lap out on track. Oh, a little bit squiggly there by Kuberabi. Not so well done in Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2, much better this time around, and heading down into the Ascari chicane. It could make or break your lap time. Track invalidations are easy to pick up around here. Let's see if he does it nicely. Very safe at not pushing it just yet. Of course, it's your first lap. You don't want to invalidate right away. And through he goes, running down into Parabolica, renamed to Curva Alboreto, and how much can he push on his first lap? 5th gear on the apex, 6 on the exit, get the power down. And then does he take the shortest line to the line? Yes, he does. And across the line, will set a first time on the board of 20.5. Signic, his teammate next to cross the line. He's gonna do, wow, a nice time. 69 thousandths just behind him. So the Haas teammates right off the bat within a tenth of each other and getting ready to rumble for the pole position once again here in the Italian GP. Well, UK just trumps that time, goes more than half a tenth quicker and takes P1 for now. Next to cross the line, there you go, a few more drivers coming across. RB Ferrello taking his sweet time as usual and not setting a fastest lap just yet. Andre almost into the 19s, 20.0 from him, and that is Streeter who is on those hard tires for good old unknown reasons. More lap times coming in finally, and Andre still stays P1 for now. Gouts, one of the McLarens, both McLarens are showing up today, and if they want to perfect their tow playing game, this would be the perfect race to do it. The tow would be worth about, I don't know, 5 to 6 stands the entire lap if they can pull it off just nicely. The problem is, Gouts looks like he's not on another lap just yet. KDB goes through, and well, yeah, Gauss just taking the run off and sparing himself from another embarrassment out on track there.
Arguably a Gauss moment in qualifying, no surprise there. Davin, how you been?
I've been great. I've been sweating on Monza right before the race, so I don't know, holidays and lifeless. Oh, Mr. Wax, what's happened there? What's happened to our race winner from the previous race? He's beached on the curbs at turn 4, that looks like it. Yes, and oh no, that's not how you want to start it, Mr. Wax. So DSQ, which means he will be starting last out on the grid today.
Back to your point though, it's definitely not lifeless if you're, going out on track in a sim racing game. Arguably, that's better time spent than most things you do every day. Not as Davin, but as a human being. But one thing's for sure, 13 drivers out on track, they're doing probably the best thing they could do on a Sunday.
Yeah, out on Monza, the best place to hot lap of all places. So, well, I couldn't argue any better way to spend a Sunday. As Big Man Joe now just goes half a second off the pace, takes P5 for now.
I wonder what trend this is between Streeter and RB Ferrello, both with the W prefix. Last time out, Streeter didn't have the best of outings as far as I remember, and RB Ferrello missed out as well in the tail end of the Dutch GP. Hopefully less fumbles this time around. I'd like to think they'll be hoping for. But Andre's back out on track. That's a rare sight.
Yeah, good to see a Mercedes up in front as always. Surely not hinting at any Mercedes dominance that we've had in the past 8 years. Good to see him though. Once again, RB Ferrello will come across the line, not setting a fast lap. I presume he's on a race simulation runs. Looking at his top speed here, he doesn't look like he's pushing it that much. Probably on heavy field. Ooh, squiggly out of turn 2. It's gonna be a battle of the traction zones as well around here. Pretty difficult to get traction out of turn 2, and if you nail it, you get a perfect run down this long curve, Curva Grande, and into turn 3 and 4. And quickly we've been interrupted by Envy, who once again has come back out on top to remind us, well, if we should have checked the statistics from the last race, Sarthak.
Yeah, but you have to, remember he's going to have his hands full in comparison to last race, surely enough. Arne's out on track, but as you said, I was on board Envy. He's clearly got a beautiful racing line, as you'd imagine. You've gone up against him too, so you'd know him best as well. First one into the 1 minute 19s. I'd expect a couple of drivers still have it in them. We still got 10 minutes of short qualifying after all.
Yeah, 19.8, pretty good benchmark for his first attempt. 2 more to come, I'm assuming. Rabi, as we ride on board with him, 2 tenths up in the first sector and attacking the middle sector much more aggressively compared to his first lap. Much more aggressive and committed in Lesmo 1 this time around. No mistakes, that should be some time gain. Lesmo 2 as well, beautifully done. A bit more time left out on the track there, but nevertheless a good run down into a scurry chicane. This is where you can make or break your lap time once again. 4 tenths up there, so close shot at challenging for a pole. If you can find 3 more tenths down into the exit of Scurry, now down into Curva Alboreto. Now coming down there, well, I still like to call it Parabolica. Let's see, into Parabolica. Seems to be pre-committed much earlier on the traction this time around. Lets the car run wide, bring it back onto the tight line. Across the line, this is going to be a wonderful lap. It is going to be P2 for Kubarabi, just shy of pole position, just 1/10 shy of it for now.
Stella, closest driver to the front runners who are in the 1 minute 19s is of course Andre, who's on an outlap. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think I saw someone fumble into the pits at the pit entry. Could be wrong. But yeah, nonetheless, we did see hard tires on one of the drivers in qualifying so far. And of course, the customary intermediates on UK now.
As usual. Well, surprising that he's going on the intermediates on his second run, considering he's set his lap time much earlier on. So perhaps just saving a set of softs for the race, Sarthak, which could be useful around here.
Yeah, surely enough, it is Monza after all, and if it's anything, historically this season itself, we've seen possibly about 4 races go down to the last 2 laps being a sprint race in its own right.
Exactly, and that's where I'm assuming these drivers would like to save a set of softs for those crucial last 5 laps where things may go south for them or may go north for them.
Oh,
Is
eyes
that
on the McLaren.
Exactly,
Eyes on the
Gauts.
McLaren. Yeah, and an Alfa Romeo up in front, you could arguably say leading the McLarens, but at the back straight, I'd imagine it's Gauts will get the benefit of a bit of tow from KDB, who almost went into the back of the Alfa Romeo Big Man Joe, I'd imagine, and through Parabolica, these McLarens are going to be close.
It's close. He was 3 tenths up, Gauts, and coming across the line. Few more meters to go. It's just a dash to the line now. What's it gonna be? It's a P4 for Gauts, 4 tenths shy of the pole. I wonder if he got a perfect toe down there, how much he would have gained. KDB now seems to be benefiting from that on the pit straight. Let's ride on board with him as Andre immediately improves a tenth to go, still P3.
Yeah, job's not done for the McLarens, clearly swapping and ensuring both have the benefit of tow here or there in specific parts of the track. As the front runners head into the pits, I believe the Alfa Romeo Big Man Joe and the McLaren of KDB are on fast laps of their own. Streeter as well, but has invalidated his lap time.
Yeah, that's not much time left. 6 minutes to go. He could squeeze in 2 laps. That will help his case to get up the grid much sooner than expected. KDB now a tenth and a half up in sector 1, running down into a scurry chicane, 2.5 tenths up, so almost 3 tenths there. That puts him in the realms of P3, P4, right alongside his teammate, perhaps just ahead of him. And now we run down to Parabolica once again. And how much do you want to push on this attempt? Quite committed there, and not exactly the best exit. Didn't get the power as early as you'd like, but a good run out of the corner and across the line. It's gonna be a P4, and look at the time between the McLarens, just 13 thousandths between them.
Unusual. Did Big Man Joe lift off, or was he just on not such a great lap? It did seem like he took off his foot from the pedal, but I guess he's going for another steady jog, as I like to call it, around Monza before setting another fast lap. But those McLarens got it in the bag. The plan worked. P4, P5 so far in qualifying.
Yeah, 5 minutes left, and I wonder if they could muster up a little bit of a tow me around Monza kind of a thing to gain some more lap time out of this. But it doesn't seem like they'll be challenging for the top 3 anytime soon. Sicknick, who was on a quick lap early on, invalidated, 2 tenths up in the middle sector now into Parabolica. Let's see if he can improve, get anywhere close to his teammate or anywhere close to challenging for the pole position. And he seems to be a little bit further off, and across the line, wow, 6 tenths improvement, 2 tenths off pole. So it's not over just yet. Not over just yet, folks. Pole position is still up for contention here.
Yeah, trumps the McLarens down a notch. And let's not forget, UK still hasn't set a quick lap on those softs. I'd imagine on a fresh set of softs on a second running, what can UK do? Can he put himself in the top 3 like he has been early into the season? Or will we see him start in the midfield once again?
Yeah, P8. I'd say P8's still okay in Monza, but the higher you
In a
are,
field of 13 drivers, damn it, probably not the best.
yeah, and well, while UK is taking his time to get out of the pits and set a lap time, Envy here into sector 1, a tenth and a half down on his personal best, so doesn't seem to be going any quicker. Can he find any more lap time in sector 2? Let's move 1 and 2, very committed there, and now it's just another, well, full throttle around Monza, down into a scurry chicane, and he's still a tenth and a half down on his personal best, so his first attempt really did all the job for him. Oh, that's an invalidation. That's an invalidation on the exit of Ascari, and he will be heading into the pits, I'm assuming.
Isn't that a very Envy thing? That clearly come out first running, set a banger lap, and yeah, it sets him off for good.
Guess
the
who's on a
entire
banger
session.
here, Sarthak? It's the Mr. Intermediate himself, UK. 4 tenths up on his personal best, and 2 more tenths would put him, well, up in pole. So it's really close around in Monza. Oh, that's a little bit of lift there. A little bit of lift for UK on the exit of Parabolica. Surely that's not going to help his case, but nevertheless, 2 tenths improvement puts him up into P7 for now. I wonder how much he lost on the exit there.
Yeah, Sicknick trumps the McLarens, UK trumps the Alfa Romeos. Levi was 3 tenths up on sector 3 last time out. This time he's half a second down on the same part of the track. So he's not having the best of outings on his return. He missed Zandvoort and he's back for Monza. I'd imagine the quote-unquote home team, to some extent, will be looking to seal a podium at the very least. But I see a couple of cars coming out on their outlets. It is Gouts and Cube Rabi. Old teammates find themselves out on track.
Yep, and this will be the crunch time, do or die, like they say, now or never. And one last attempt to send it on the track limit, send it on every corner to make sure you find that extra thousands here and there to make up that 900s that he may need, 9,000s or 900s that he may need to get pole. Sicknick into turn 1, let's see, not distracted by any traffic or so. A little bit cautious for his own liking, I'd say, but gets a good exit onto Curva Grande here.
Yeah, I believe it is his outlap. It could be wrong given the way the game works. Sector 1 and 3 are lighting up. A bit of traffic there around Sector 1, I believe. Yep, that's Envy. And ahead of him is, can't quite see, but there's a Reb McLaren and an Alpha Tauri. And Street is gone. So is Vex. What?
I can't take my eyes off Kuberabi for now. Well, he is almost half a tenth down in Sector 1, but Sector 2, this is where he could make up his time. And he's a tenth up, and that is going to put him in the realms of challenging for the pole position. He's currently 12 thousandths up on Envy's time. 2 more corners to go, and well, he survived Ascari. Now can he push one last time at Parabolica into the corner, into the apex, power down as early as you want, no wheel spin whatsoever, traction, tries gripping up just nicely across the line. Kuberabi, what is this gonna be? It is gonna be provisional pole position for Kuberabi, 19.7, a tenth quicker. What can Envy do? Now it is his time.
Yeah, job's not done though, and you can see all the drivers on fast laps of their own, and I believe Gouts has spun in the wake of trying to aid KDB with a bit of toe on the main straight. He's gone and put himself into a spin. Envy's on a fast lap. Andre has lifted off, so unless he can make it to the line, he is probably on the worst lap yet. UK has retired from the quali session, and Sicknick on a fast lap as well.
I don't think Andre's lifting off just yet. He was 3 tenths up in Sector 1. Maybe just a bad corner there that we have missed. But into the end of Sector 2, 2.5 tenths up. Now he's in contention for a pole position over here. And that's a spinning Haas. Oh, and unfortunate for Andre because he had to avoid that, and that is his lap invalidated. Unfortunate for him. Well, fortunate for Kuberabi, I guess, as his spin pretty much rules Andre out of the pole contention right now.
Possibly, but eyes on Envy as he comes along Sector 3. Bit of tow, you could say, from another car up in front, but he's been 600ths of a second down in Sector 2. What kind of lap time can he set? Can he trump Kuberabi for that pole position? He's lost out on pole on more than one occasion this season. But Envy at Monza, that's the fastest lap we've seen all session.
That might have just helped. That little toe from that AlphaTauri up ahead. RB Ferrello doing him a favor in some sorts and giving Envy another pole position for now. It's not over just yet though. KDB across the line will stay in P5, 3/10 down on his personal best. Big man Joe next to come across the line, 2/10 up in Sector 2, across the line, 2.5 up. He will stay in P5 for now. Levi Tiger Pants, what can he do this time around? Across the line, 2.5 up once again across the line. He is gonna be in P6. Wow, what a qualifying.
Yeah, what a qualifying. I mean, the Alfa Romeos doing their best to trump the McLarens, who had an unfortunate incident just through Parabolica, with Guts going into the spin, but all eyes on Envy as he trumps Kuberabi for the fastest lap and pole position at Monza in Season 6 of the Bwoah Racing League. But we all know the race is where it's all to play for.
Yeah, I'd love to see a side-by-side between Envy and Kuberabi if we could get this after the race. That was two spectacular laps by two drivers out on track there. Nevertheless, Drop Driver successfully completed the qualifying. Mr. Vex, the winner of the previous race, finds himself on the back of the grid. So, what do you make of that, Sarthak? Around Monza.
Well, he didn't even come out to set a lap time. So, I'd imagine we will see a possible loss to first challenge for him. And I say that because last time out he started at the back of the pack was probably last season, and his best result from starting at the back of the pack has been 4th. He hasn't been on the podium, but who knows? He's coming off of a high with the win in Zandvoort. Anything's possible, as I always like to say in Bwoah Racing League, and you know that more than anyone else.
And it seems to be dry out here, so well, it's all to play for. No weather intervention as far as we know. Drivers out on track, possibly evaluating their tire strategies and also taking a look at the weather. They might just know what's happening. It's always a mystery for us in the comms box. And I can see mediums all around the track, except for the McLarens, once again going contra to the others out on track. Andre deciding to take the hards as well. So let's see if this pays off. Early safety cars might just not play into their hands, but a well-timed safety car right around the middle of the race might just be the thing that these hard runners need.
Yeah, possibly. But then again, with the frenzies we've seen during a race, for the past couple of races at the very least, it's anyone's guess how the race will unravel. But one thing's for sure, the formation lap's going to be a treat, a nice steady lap around Monza, as I like it, as always. 13 drivers. Unfortunate, not a full racing grid, but I think this season, regardless of not having a full racing grid more often than not, you've still had good racing, regardless of the size of the grid.
Yeah, indeed, exactly. So turn 1 is going to be, as we know, Monza. It has a reputation across any kind of sim or even in real life racing. Turn 1 will be a contention. Low downforce, you don't have maximum grip into turn 1 on the first lap. So it's going to be a little chaotic. Let's hope the drivers have learned their lessons from previous seasons and previous races to keep it a bit more clean into turn 1, shall we say?
Fun facts for you, Davin, and for the folks watching, of course. From past seasons, disasters in turn 1 involves SV's incredible dive bomb into freeze into turn 1. I'm pretty sure you witnessed that with me behind the comms.
Well, that has been a long time, Sarthak. But pretty sure I'd love to see that replay, probably after the race, if that was the thing.
Surely enough. So, yeah, turn 1's been quite adventurous for some of the drivers. And, I think probably the best moment so far in Bwoah Racing League Monza was almost a fairy tale of sorts when we were streaming our first ever season back in Season 3. When Rusty Nishin, the Ferrari, crashed out in qualifying but still went on to win the race in a Ferrari in-game.
Yeah, that is an absolute dream. Wet dream for some. Monza won by a Ferrari. We don't have that today. The closest we'll get is probably RB Farello, who's down in P11. So it's as back of the grid as you could get, and maybe, just maybe a Sep 2009? Treat me up. Was it 2008? I don't know.
2008, but yeah, possibly. RB Ferrello last to first. He's still at the back of the pack with Gamler and Mr. Wex behind him and not in front, so clearly not a obstruction of sorts. But he's got some heavy hitters alongside him as well. Streeter and UK he needs to pass, which is not going to be a easy feat for sure. Streeter's going to make his life quite hard, make RB Ferrello's life quite hard at race start. And UK, if it's anything, if he gets a nice start, game doesn't mess with him, he's probably off for a good result as well. How the McLarens and the Alfa Romeos do is one of question.
Oh, speaking of McLaren, and that is Gouts, is well, Gouts shenanigans, as you say. Spinning on the formation lap maybe just helps with the tight temperatures on those hards. Big Man Joe, well, speak of Alfa Romeo this time around, he gets himself a little happy on that line, gets a bit disqualified, but that's gonna set him back just a few meters.
Little to no effect though, considering it is formation lap after all. But 27 laps of racing around the Temple of Speed is in store, Davin. An absolute treat. I can't wait to quiz you on what to expect in some moments of the track, but it's all eyes on the fire lights on the main straight, and fire lights are out. And away they go, and this time around Envy hasn't fumbled the bag as much and gotten a better start than Kuberabi. And Zandre that goes level pegging with the Haas. Sicknick to follow, and Kuberabi is left hanging dry. Side by side goes the Mercedes and Haas, and it's Sicknick who's managed to go up in a P2 in turn 1. Contact between the Haas and the Mercedes, and Levi Tiger Pants out of nowhere up in the top 3.
Yeah, frenzy at turn 1. Somehow it's clean enough. The only driver who, well, has suffered from that is UK, who is tumbled all the way back down to P13 and quite far away from the pack. Into turn 4 though, that's something happening up there, and Kuberabi and Streeter and KDB is just a frenzy of positions being swapped right now in turn 1, in lap 1.
KDB not having the best of outcomes. He's down to P10, lost 2 positions in the last corner and is trailing. This is the kind of lap you want to capitalize on, and if anyone's made anything good on this lap, it's Levi Tiger Pants up in a P3, but Andre is close behind.
Levi Tiger Pants and Sicknick, oh well, he's inherited the P2 from his teammate. Kuberabi not having the best of starts down in P7, and yet the gaps are pretty close. So KDB on the back of Mr. Wax, looking for a move immediately already. Will he dive it into Parabolica? No, thinks better of it, just hangs it back a little bit more. Pit straight, that's a good opportunity. Oh, that's a spin.
I saw it live, apologies. Andre went into Levi Tiger Pants, who lost traction in Parabolica. Unfortunate incident there for the Alfa Romeo and Mercedes. They tumbled down the order, and once again left field result for the runners who managed to survive that. It's Gouts managed to make up 5 positions and is running P3.
Yeah, but right on his tail is Big Man Joe on the softer medium tires, so he will be looking to make quick work of Gouts here into turn 4. No, not close enough to dive it just yet, but a bit more grip from those medium tires into the middle sector might just help him close up the gap as we watch on into Lesmo 1 and heading into Lesmo 2. As you can see in the distance, the top 2 I have pulled away.
Yeah, we were talking about Mr. Wex earlier on. He's made 5 positions so far in the first 2 laps. He's running P8 and he's got a sizable gap, I'd like to say. But here comes RB Ferrello, and he's going to be level pegging with the Williams, and it's the AlphaTauri's nose in front. But no, the Williams comes right on back around the outside. Through Ascari they go, and it's the Blue Williams trying its might to defend off the last first challenge master, if you will. But RB Ferrello won't be impeded anymore. He's up at a P8 and he's gonna keep on going.
Beautifully done there, hanging back just at Ascari, getting a better exit there, and well, with a bit of battery deployed down to Parabolica, made the move easy as you like it. Now all he has to do is chase down KDB, who himself is making a move on Streeter down the inside. KDB versus Streeter, both on hard tires. Who gets ahead? KDB gets a little bit squiggly on the entry there, but gets the move done. Up into P6 he goes.
Yeah, up in front though, beautiful fight between Alfa Romeo and McLaren, who were level pegging to turn 1 and 2, the chicane, and they're level pegging once again ahead of the next corner, and it's the Alfa Romeo's nose in front. McLaren keeps it clean, has to concede the position, and it's Cuba Rubby cautiously waiting for a fumble between these two, right behind, within half a second of each other, but the Alfa Romeo just pulls away.
And we find ourselves in a kind of a deja vu situation from the previous race, where Big Man Joe gets past his rivals out on track and now has to chase down Signic and Envy, who are, well, kind of running away with the race. Envy pulled out a 2-second gap so far, keeps himself safe up in front where he is virtually untouchable from now on.
Yeah, clearly Gau's holding it off and will be aided, I'd like to think, by his teammate. Both hard runners, Cube Rubby still between the McLarens. That is what's happening up in front in the midfield, however, all within a second of each other. Proper DRS train, mind you. Envy sets the fastest lap time, and on the main straight, it'll be the hardest amount to challenge on a McLaren. Easy does it now, Cube Rubby, up into P4.
Yeah, both with DRS, I'm surprised that Cube Rubby, Gauts was not able to defend that. But nevertheless, KDB and Gauts now find themselves reunited back in P5 and 6. Beautiful place to be in with those hard tires. Running long into the race might just help them out. But up in front still Cuba Rubby trying to keep in touch with Big Man Joe, who himself is trying to get away and chase the top two.
And yeah, that DRS train is going to continue to exist. I'd like to think RB Ferrello is setting his sights on making a pass on all three hard runners up in front of him on this lap, if not the next 2 laps at the very least. He needs to make the pass, he needs to keep climbing to ensure he can mount a challenge to the other medium runners up in front. But up ahead is the McLaren, letting another McLaren by. That's KDB getting clear air from his teammate as he goes up into P5.
Yeah, I wonder if there was some team orders there. KDB might be having some more pace to chase after the top 4 as it seems, and Gauts will benefit from the DRS to keep him safe from the oncoming attack of RB Fellow, who is already going side by side into Parabolica. RB Fellow now hangs back, gets the DRS, and he will try again on the pit straight. RB Fellow now gets a better exit of some sorts, and on the pit straight with DRS, how much will he expend his battery? Not much left in the tank. Streeter keeps himself safe for now, and that is Andre all the way at the back of the grid having a little spin in Lesmo 1.
Yeah, I assume it is team orders from the Williams as well as UK gets to make the pass on Mr. Wex. And yeah, as we spoke about this earlier,
here comes RB Ferrello
alongside Streeter. How easy will it be? How hard will it be this time around for the medium runner of RB Ferrello? He's gotten the perfect line as you'd imagine, and he's pulling away a gap already out of the corner. How beautiful that gets from RB Ferrello.
Yeah, and KDB himself already almost pulling a gap to Gauts, but RB Fellow is coming. He's coming and he's getting ever so close. 3 times the gap now to Gauts, who is, well, within the DRS of his teammate, so that's gonna keep him safe for a few more corners, but he's low on battery. RB Fellow has to do something about that, and I wonder how long before his attack runs out of steam. Runs very wide there. Fortunate not to spin his car on the exit there. Oh, and that is Andre once again. Now he's getting lapped and he's spinning once again.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, but look how close RB Ferrello is getting yet again on another drive. This time around Gauts. I'd imagine Gauts has been told to fend off RB Ferrello for as long as he can, but KDB can muster up quite the gap, but I don't think that'll be the case. Meanwhile, up in front is the Alfa Romeo fighting it off with Cuba Rubby. Cuba Rubby's managed to get past Big Man Joe.
We definitely missed that, but as you can see, so much more pace from Cuba Rubby now. Haas 2 and 3. Cuba Rubby on those medium tires, making good work of it. Andre is retired, and that will be the end of his race. So I think he's had enough of the game, or perhaps just the tires not going his way. Damage as well, possibly, which makes the car undrivable. And that is Levi, I'm assuming, on the back straight.
But his wing looks intact, so onwards we go.
Onwards we go onto his teammate Big Man Joe, who still tries to keep within touching distance of Cuba Rubby. Still down in P4, not too far off. The McLaren pair of Gauts and KDB, 5 and 6. RB Fellow Still very close, but not enough to get past the McLaren pair just yet. Oh, another track extension there by RB Fellow. He has to be careful. That looks like might have been just his second warning of the day.
Yeah, we've only been through 6 laps of racing so far. We've got 21 laps left and it's been action-packed through and through. Big Man Joe half a second to Cuba RB Ferrello almost a second's gap to Gouts, but Gouts is still within a second of his teammate KDB. And yeah, that's the mini DRS train that's been there for a while now. Streeter, RB Ferrello, Gouts and KDB.
Yeah, looks like there's no getting past just yet out on track, so strategy might be the way to go. I'd be surprised if one of these medium runners would not pull an undercut or an overcut to get past a driver up in front. At the moment, looks like Big Man Joe, who is stuck behind Kuberabi for a lap and a half, is comfortable where he is.
I wonder how much information is actually being relayed, but here comes Streeter and RB Ferrello now, battling it out. And I just missed the pass, but Streeter has made the pass on RB Ferrello. Was there a fumble on RB Ferrello's side, or?
I wonder if there was a fumble coming out of turn 4 before Lesmo 1 and Streeter retakes that P7. No intentions needed, but RB Ferrello immediately, those the softer medium tires are still working in his favor. Streeter not really doing his best just to catch up to the hard runners up in front. Gouts still doing his best to stay within DRS of his teammate, gets towed along. Now KDB joins the train for P3.
Yeah, and now this midfield DRS train is split, seemingly enough. Big Man Joe and KDB in their own league, but right behind RB Ferrello is trying his best to snatch that position back down the inside ahead of turn 1 itself. He's going to have that in the bag, but he's, pursuing this fight time and time again. Probably not going to work out for him. He'd want to recharge that battery because Streeter has so much in the tank.
Yeah, and I wonder why he's not using it. 92%, that might have been beneficial to catch up back to the train up in front. Streeter, knowing, sort of his racecraft here and there, I think he's just hanging back, and there you go. He's not hanging back anymore. RB Fellow makes another fumble into Lesmo 1, and Streeter gets past him once again. I wonder if that's an intentional fumble.
Oh, UK, no! An opportunity gone wrong for UK as he goes into the rear of RB Ferrello. The gap existed, but he did not weave. Unfortunate for him.
Oh, we just missed that on the cams, but unfortunate there. Collisions coming out of Lesmo 2. That would not have helped them in either way. But the race continues. Up ahead, we have a battle going on for P3. Big Man Joe once again finds himself within half a second of Kuberabi, not being able to pass just yet.
Yeah, I could arguably also say that maybe RB Ferrello lifted off just a bit, which took UK by surprise, and he had nowhere to go and went straight into the rear of RB Ferrello. But this time around on the main straight, opportunity for the Williams driver once again. Hopefully he has enough road to go. Doesn't seem like it. Gets us close to the gearbox of the Alpha Tauri. But I like to think ahead of the next corner. Oh, and as I say that, the rear kicks out and onto the grass he goes.
That was a good opportunity to get an exit that he needed to make a pass down into turn 4. Unfortunately, he finds himself. Oh, Gouts. What has happened there?
In sector 1.
Yeah, we come across, let's see, with RB Ferrello, and that is a crash. Oh, that is on the exit of turn 5. Into the walls he goes, and that is a full safety car being called out. Lucky medium runners for them, as they can box now. Take the hard till the end. What about the hard runners? I wonder if KDB would like to gamble onto a set of mediums till the end of the race. Will possibly put him in contention for a good podium finish or even a race win, if he can make use of that pace. Now into the pits. Yep.
Yeah, first into the pits was Levi Tiger Pants for a fresh set of mediums. He was the back marker down in P12. And of course now in P11, I'd assume. Let's see what the front riders do. Envy Sicknick follows suit into the pits. Kuberabi as well. Big Man Joe KDB makes the call.
Yeah, it's gonna be a double stack in the Haas garage. Not ideal, but better to pit with a double stack than not at all. Oh, that's a little bit of a delay for Sicknick from getting out of the box. and that means Kuberabi is gonna get jumped by KDB, and Big Man Joe down to P5. Kuberabi goes.
Second time running for Kuberabi, finding himself down in P5. Meanwhile, RB Ferrari UK head into the pits, so pretty much the entire grid did head into the pits during this safety car on lap number 10. And yeah, Envy still race leader ahead of Sicknick, Big Man Joe, and KDB. And I see someone spinning. That's a Haas onto the grass, similar to UK's incident. But yeah, it did not go into the styrofoam boards there.
Yeah, lucky Kuberabi. Well, that might have costed him 2 more positions there, but comes out unscathed. So I guess that's more important around here, not losing a wing on the safety car lap. So Envy still leads the race. Sicknick finds himself in P2 comfortably. Tire details, let's see. KDB, Street, and Mr. Wax are the first 3 runners are on mediums in 4, 5, and 6, while the top 3 are on hard. So it's gonna be a cracking restart around here. Half distance to go once the safety car goes in, and this could be anyone's race to win. Might be Envy's to lose.
Didn't even realize the mic was turned off, but it's always on here in Bwoah Racing League. The racing, surely enough, incredibly widely weaving, if you may. Envy in the Aston Martin, right behind the Aston Martin, almost level pegging, green on green on green.
Yeah, you don't want to get too close to the safety car, so Envy, as you don't want to hit it either. And we will cross the straights. Well, Monza, it's full of straights, so you have to get as much beaming as you need to get these tires warmed up. Sicknick, everyone else pretty much just getting their tires warmed up. And I wonder what's going on in their minds right now, Satik. What do you think it's in the head of Envy and Sicknick, who has been in this position last time out in Netherlands, in the past 2 races, if anything?
I think for Envy it's quite different with regard to keeping it clean out in front. It's by the book for him, but for Sicknick it would be relatively keeping it clean, no fumbles of any sorts, because he's found himself in this position on more than one occasion where he's not only trailing behind Envy, he's got Big Man Joe behind the handle as well. So one fumble and that Alfa Romeo is going to swoop right through. So he doesn't want that happening, and he does not want to lose his podium position the way he's done last race out. So yeah, it's more so pressure for Sicknick than Envy, I'd like to think.
And to compound to his problems, there are 3 medium runners right behind Big Man Joe, first being KDB, and then Streeter, then Wax. So Mr. Wax, not exactly had the best qualifying. As we saw, he DSQ'd for being parked up on a curve and getting beached. P13 now finds himself in P6. So if anything is to go by from the last race, I don't know, Levi could be in the race. Predictions, I don't think that will be necessary anymore.
Yeah, he's got up to the bunch, so he's got an opportunity in the likes of making a pass on 4 cars that are on, well, hard tires to begin with, but clean passes, quick passes, I don't think that's going to be the case, apart from 1 or 2, considering the drivers that he needs to pass. UK, RB Ferro, Kuberabi, and Gambler. Even
safety car in this lap, and that's a late notice from FIA, which means all drivers are just stranded on the exit of Parabolica. Envy now has to frantically weave his tires if he has any temperature left in those. And we're gonna get a quick safety car restart around here. Sicknick pulls alongside Envy, and Envy gets a good restart. So there we go. The race resumes once again on lap number 12 out of 27 and into turn 1. Let's see if everyone keeps it clean for the second time this time around. And Big Man Joe immediately locks up, goes around the outside. Still
yeah, apologies there, as I had my eyes on Mr. Wax, who completely missed his braking point and sent it straight into the rear of a McLaren by the looks of it, KDB.
Yeah, Mr. Wax, who was in P6, now finds himself on the tail end of the grid once again, as did his teammate KDB. Gets a move on Levi, but that's a bit of collision going on. Levi has lost the position, and KDB keeps that P8 amid a bit of confusion between those 2 drivers into turn 5.
Yeah, biggest winner so far in this lap alone. As I say that, Levi Tiger Pants rear kicks out, and he is losing 1 and make that 2 and find himself back where he started behind the safety car.
Yeah, not the first time he spun coming out of Lesmo 1, so that's kind of his Achilles heel. Lesmo 1 and 2 probably around here, and finds himself at the back of the grid now, so not exactly what you want to be doing. But up in front though, KDB making quick work of this medium tires once again, and into Parabolica, looks to attack. Whoa, very close to the tail end of Kuberabi. Coming out of Parabolica, gets a much better exit, much wider and quicker exit, and Kuberabi immediately is under attack from KDB.
And yeah, he just takes off his finger off the button of the ERS. I think he had half in the tank, but I think he's assuming Kuberabi has an advantage on that front. He's gonna bide his time. He knows he's got the advantage with tires, so he wants to make a clean pass. But ERS being deployed for a short moment there out of turn 3. And as I say that, Haas not level pegging just yet. KDB can't find himself behind these cars for too long. He's lost positions already. He needs to be gaining them now.
Yeah, and he just can't seem to get the exit that he needs into Lesmo 1 and 2, where these softer medium tires will work at its best. But now into Lesmo 2, not exactly the best exit either.
A proper DRS train now in the midfield, and the biggest winner, as I was saying earlier, is Streeter. He's managed to find himself running P3 ahead of even big man Joe. But all eyes on this midfield DRS train as we come along the back straight. I like to think some of them are gonna go all hands on deck with the ERS and try their best to position themselves for a possible pass on the main straight.
Yeah, and leading this DRS train is Streeter up in P3. DRS will be re-enabled at the start of this lap, so we will be seeing some possible moves coming in the back straight before a scurry chicane. But into turn 1, that's some moves going on. UK defends himself for P6. RB Fellow getting pretty close there on the exit. Can he get better exit? Looks like he does, and this might be a move shaping up for RB Fellow. Goes around the outside at cover granted, long way around, pulls alongside and into turn 4 coming soon. Will he go on the inside or outside? RB Fellow chooses the inside and backs off at the last moment.
Yeah, UK did a phenomenal job at parking that car through the line that he did. My god, that was impeccable from him, I'd say. But while that was ensuing up in front, it was KDB trying his best to get around the outside of Kuberabi out of turn 2 and 3. But unfortunately couldn't find himself half a second down on Kuberabi, the Haas. I'd imagine now he is gearing up for that pass to the back straight.
Yeah, I think he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. Being on the mediums, he should be making the moves. One guy who is making the moves is Levi Tiger Pants, down into a scurry chicane around the outside with the aid of DRS. Gets a move on Gambler for P10. 6 seconds ahead is the next driver, and followed by a full train up to P3. So not over yet for Levi Tiger Pants if he can muster up some more pace. Up in front for P4 and P3, it is Big Man Joe. Goes on the inside with DRS, and easy as you like it, makes the move into turn 1. Oh, that's some contact. Streeter loses himself. Under braking, goes into the back of Big Man Joe, who loses his positions now down to P5. Streeter, I imagine he'd be wanting to return those positions very time soon.
Yeah, that's had a ripple effect clearly enough. RB Ferrello tumbles down the order as well, trying to dodge that whole incident and finds himself down in P8. So KDB has gotten a position up on one car, but it's not Kuberabi just yet.
Yeah, and suddenly it's turned all upside down here. UK now leading these DRS. Oh, Mr. Vex has gone. Mr. Vex is out. Looks like he's out in the same place where where Gouts went out, and that is exactly the same spot. Coming out of turn 5, I'm assuming running on the curb and spinning off into the walls, and that brings on another safety car.
My word, Mr. Wax, it seemed like everything was, possibly open for him in terms of making the climb, but unfortunately, that's the end of the race for him. Terrible to see 3 cars out of this race already.
Oof, second one, and we'll have 10 laps to go from here on. So once again, these medium tires will make it till the end, Sarthak. But as you can see, some drivers have jumped the gun. Streeter is into the pits. I'm assuming that's some damage. UK and RB Fellow choosing to ditch those horrible hard tires and onto a set of medium tires. Gambler, who stayed out quite a while, chooses to go for track position now, finds himself up into P8. Up in front though, top 5. Not much of a change. KDB deciding to take track position as well with those medium tires. Finally finds himself in P5. Let's hope he gets a better restart at the end of this safety car period.
Yeah, surely enough, even Streeter finding himself down in P7 after pit stop, however. But that incident, I think Big Banjo clearly won't be the happiest of drivers out on track. I guess we could say we are closing in or already have passed the halfway mark of this race. 2 safety cars so far. Envy is still leading well in the lead, but I don't think he's gotten the opportunity to pull away a substantial gap, has he?
Not enough just yet. Siknik is putting on the pressure. I'm assuming if this went on for a few more laps, it could have gone the other way around. Siknik might have been attempting to close up to Envy for the DRS, make a pass and whatnot, but they find themselves on a safety car restart, assuming which is not this lap, but on the end of next lap. 10 laps to go once the safety car goes in on the end of next lap, and we will have a cracking restart once again.
Maybe, just might. Maybe Big Man Joe will be the one to capitalize on fumbles. Maybe it'll be Siknig snatching the lead away from Envy on a fumble. But it is a rare sight, isn't it? That Aston Martin fumbling. I don't think we've seen that too often this season.
Well, if you speak of often, there was only one incident that happened to be in Netherlands. So, as we have seen in Netherlands, Envy is not unbeatable in any way or so. You just have to get him in the middle of the pack, and pretty sure every driver loves to put up a tough defense against a top driver like Envy, and that seems to be a recipe for Envy not winning, to put it bluntly. But yeah, I think Envy himself realizes what the situation is up against. Keeping himself up in front in the clear is where he needs to be to maximize his pace and potentially a race result. Siknik, as you've said at the start of the race, he needs a good showing up in front here. Too often he's been caught out by bad luck or even some skill issues, in his own words, in his own defense, and let's hope he gets a better result here as well. I have my predictions, if anything, or jinxing, if you want to call it. Streeter to win the race, Satak. He's on the freshest tire of all.
Bold prediction with 10 laps left into the race, but RB Ferrer just came on arguably an even more fresh set of tires.
How did I miss that while the tire details were up? Wow, alright. RB Ferrer soft tires on restart, and he's on the back of the queue. This is going to be an overtaking show brought to you by RB Ferrello himself. Safety car in this lap, Satak. It is going to be a show and a half. 10 drivers left out on track and 10 laps to go. What can we expect from RB Ferrello? 1 lap, 1 overtake?
Surely enough, if it's anyone who can do it, it's RB Ferrello. And yeah, with 10 laps left, you'd be wanting to get more than just one at safety car restart.
Yes, and once again, Envy on the restart here keeps the restart pretty late. You don't want to be giving a toe to your competitors down. And there you go, it's almost a carbon copy restart for Envy and Siknik up in front. Big Man Joe this time around rolls reverse, finds himself under attack from Kubarabi. So into turn 1, Kubarabi does not go for the inside, and there is Red Bull flying into the distance. That's Gambler, who's missed his breaking point by a mile or so. Oh, KDB spins. KDB loses traction behind the Haas, and he is out. Not yet.
That's surely enough. He returns, but that wing won't be looking pretty. RB Ferrer has gotten 2 positions somehow on this lap alone. So the fight is on for RB Ferrello as he closes in on the Alfa Romeo's gearbox, weaves through the right-hand side of the track, peeks down the inside, backs off a bit because he knows that Alfa Romeo is getting real twitchy, and every time a car gets twitchy in front of RB Ferrello, it goes against him. So he backs off, Now he's got the opportunity, deploys ERS.
Oh, he's coming.
In full might.
He's coming. Where does he go? Left or right? Big Man Joe just Levi Tiger Pants defends the inside line. This might be the opportunity RB Fellow was looking for. Puts the Alfa Romeo on the defensive on the exit. Now with some tow and some battery deployed, RB Fellow goes around the outside of Parabolica. Can he make the move? Oh, with this soft ice. Yes, he does. RB Fellow braves it around the outside of Parabolica. Goes up into P7 with the soft tires. Now, 6 more drivers to go. Can he make the impossible to do it? Oh, for once and for all, can he win a race in this season? We're about to find out in 7 laps time. RB Fellow into turn 1. Does not have to defend too hard against Levi Tiger Pants.
Yeah, the race has not gone anywhere. Has it? Kuberabi now loses a position to Streeter, who's on the mediums and on a climb of his own, I'd say. But here comes Kuberabi right on back level, pegging with the Alpine. Alpine's nose in front. Haas needs to concede after all. And UK right behind that Haas, waiting. Just waiting for a gap, and this time around he's not going to make that fumble we saw from him last time out. And behind UK is a soft runner in RB Ferrello.
Yeah, it's a hunting party for everyone out on track. Everyone, biggest loser would be RB Ferrello to not make use of the soft tires just yet. And here we have a potential moves. That is UK picking down the inside of Kuberabi. I was going to say Siknik, but no, Kuberabi just slightly ahead and on the exit. Look at that, Kuberabi getting a run on Streeter, who's not finding himself in a good position on those fresh soft tires. Kuberabi goes ahead, back up into P4. Now Streeter will have the chance to re-overtake on the inside of Kerbal Barreto, and on the exit it's gonna be a drag race down in turn 1. Kuberabi tucks into the slipstream. UK joins the double slipstream, and this is looking like a 3 wide coming into turn 1. Who's gonna yield? Who's gonna brake later? And it is Streeter who runs a bit deep into turn 1 and 2, keeps his position on the exit, though UK being forced a little bit wide by Kuberabi and loses multiple positions. RB Fellow, sneak easy like it, takes 1, takes 2, and can he get Kuberabi as well into turn 4? Looks like he has done it.
Soft's working its charm out there for RB Ferrello for now with three laps up on those tires. He's got 7 laps left. Can he keep it going till then? Is a tough one to answer, but if it's anyone who won that fight, it was out of nowhere came RB Ferrello.
Yeah, 3 moves and 2 moves. I don't know. I've lost count of how many moves he made in the last lap, and that puts him up into P5. Wonderful job on the soft tires. And well, next up for him is Streeter, who himself is on a charge for the race win. Not too far off. It's just 5 seconds ahead. Fresher, soft, medium tires for Streeter. Can he pull out the pace that he needs to catch up to the top 3? Speaking of the top 3, it is Big Man Joe who spots an opportunity. Signet runs wide into Kerbal Barreto, and on the exit, Big Man Joe with the assist of DRS tucks into the slipstream. Battery not deployed, but DRS might just be enough. Into turn 1, he's coming. Signet goes slightly defensive, takes the middle line, and Big Man Joe can't find an avenue past him into turn 1. Can he though, on the exit of turn 2, get a better exit, deploys his battery, but no, he looks like he wants to back off just a little longer.
Yeah, you could arguably say Siknig actually played into the favor of Big Man Joe, considering he did have to empty a bit of his tank to ensure he held on to P2, with Big Man Joe having saved all of his ERS so far. They're almost level pegging in the tank, but right behind them are some of these really quick runners coming their way, and they want to be in a prime position if they want to fend off these medium and soft runners.
Yeah.
Oh, contact! It looked like contact. My apologies there, but the game might have just played tricks on me. So you can ignore that.
Oh, yeah. And as all the commotion is going on up in front, NB finally finds himself in the clear and pulls off a 2.5 seconds gap, which leaves Siknik quite exposed to an attack from Big Man Joe, who himself is coming under attack from Streeter, who finally seems to have got his act together and making the soft tires, the medium tires, into full effect. Fastest lap coming in from NV so far on the pit straight.
UK on Levi Tiger Pants on the main straight, both with the aid of DRS. So UK will have to tuck right behind the Alfa Romeo once again. Up in front, no pass is made, but they're all within a half a second of each other. Contact just a bit by the Williams onto the Alfa Romeo. A nasty exit. We'll see the Alfa Romeo pull away quite a bit. But yeah, this DRS train that's been formed in the midfield is an incredible one. And come the last lap, it's going to get even more interesting.
Yeah, I'm seeing all over the field. Drivers are emptying their battery tanks already with 5.5 laps to go. This might just come down to who has more battery left at the end of lap 27. So it's not over just yet. The gaps are big enough to make a mistake and you will lose 10 positions if you might miss. Streeter there, finally making good use of this fresher tires, and into P3 he goes. Makes the move, gets it committed on the outside and takes P3 away. Up next is Sicknick. If he can get past him, the win is just 4 seconds up ahead.
Yeah, Big Man Joe ensures he's deployed enough ERS to keep running right behind Streeter and Sicknick. He's going to cautiously wait for a fumble from the people in front, the drivers in front. But I'd like to think he's going to mount a challenge, and mount a challenge he just might. ERS being deployed on the main straight. DRS to his aid, but so does Streeter have to his aid. DRS from Sicknick, who's held quite the position and will be able to fend off the two drivers behind him.
Oh, Sicknick went a little bit defensive into turn 1, which almost forced a contact that looked like it from Streeter. And now Streeter gets a run and he will go around the outside, the long way around at Curva Grande into turn 4. Will he want to make the move just yet? No, looks like he's holding back once again. Streeter making use of those tires and forcing Sicknick into some mistakes here, and we assume we can expect a move coming in at the end of a scurry chicane here.
Yeah, the train is on and soft runners have decided to lift off. You can see RB Ferrello's gap to Big Man Joe extend to almost a second. But yeah, back to Streeter on Sicknick. Sicknick trying to close that gap, trying to make the life of the Alpine driver a bit more difficult. And the gap's been opened up, and Streeter's taking a not so great line outside the track, beyond the curbs. And now he's trying to get some damage limitation done by ensuring he deploys enough ERS. But right behind is RB Ferrello and Cuba Rabi. RB Ferrello has to concede that position. Cuba Rabi back into P5.
Yeah, soft tires, I think, starting to lose a bit of an edge right now. But oh, we have battles all over the place. Big Man Joe now finds himself back up into P3. It's a drag race, both having DRS, both deploying their batteries. Up in front is a Haas, which might prove to be difficult to get past. Oh, it's side by side into turn 2. Who gets a better exit? Looks like Streeter might just have the edge right now and keeps himself in the contention for the win, which is getting further and further away as the laps goes. Sicknick is proving hard to pass as it stands right now.
Yeah, RB Ferrello on the softs is clearly being handed the short end of the stick. He's lost 2 positions now. I mean, just 1 position so far, with UK making the pass as well. But yeah, Levi Tiger Pants getting awfully close to make this pass on the Alfa Tauri. So it's Alfa Romeo versus Alfa Tauri at the back of the field, while it's Alfa Romeo versus Alpine in the front. Oh, that's a crash!
That's
a crash!
That is
that's
UK.
The end of the race for UK. No front wing, no front right
and
either. What a
guess what, Sarthak? Guess what, Sarthak? Look at that. That's a yellow dot out on track. One more time, we have a safety car deployed. And this might be the one and only lap the safety car will be out on track. So who will gamble it on the soft tires at the end here? Will it be a chance on for redemption for RB Fellow once again, who is at the tail end of the grid? Might just find himself in an advantageous position to get another set of softs.
Envy just decided to stay out.
Yeah.
Envy just decided to stay out. And so did Sicknick, so did Streeter, so did Big Man Joe. Of course, everybody. I'm surprised no one wagered a possible soft run. Even having seen RB Ferrello's...
Levi's gone in. Levi's gone in. So Levi's taken the chance. So P7, he might just get passed by Gambler. You know, Gambler goes into the pits as well. So that is P7 for Levi Tiger Pants with 2 laps to go for the impossible. A podium or a win. Well, he has to get past his teammate first, who is up in P4, is also challenging for the win today. It is going to be cracking final 2 laps. So as always, Sarthak, it's been a tradition around here in the Bwoah Racing League. We should have 2 sprint laps.
Of course. By the looks of it, it clearly has. We've got Gambler going into the pits for a fresh set of softs as well. Unfortunate for RB Ferrello, 8 laps on the sauce. He's probably going to stay out by the looks of it, or might just go into the pits. Now, I can finally ask about that little run you had before this race started, Dalvin, which was you yourself went around Monza quite a bit. Did you go on the mediums? And as I say, that big man Joe has gone into the rear of Streeter, and he's lost his front left under safety car. As the safety car is going in, that is the end of the race for an Alfa Romeo big man Joe, and in the penultimate couple of laps of this race.
Yeah, Streeter picks up a 5-second penalty. You have to hold on that thought for the end of the race, Sarthak. I think we don't have time for that because it's safety car restart time and it's only few seconds to go. And Envy once again leaves it pretty late. He does not want to give a tow. Streeter seems to be unharmed from those collisions. Can he survive 2 more laps if he has a broken wing of any sorts?
Sicknick almost jumped the gun, but Envy gets a spectacular start. As you'd see, Alpine level pegging with the Haas into turn 1. It's going to be quite the gripper. Medium tires versus the Haas. Haas versus Alpine, but around the outside comes the Alpine. They're almost banging wheels, but it's the Alpine with the nose in front. Up in a P2, loses traction on the exit. So does the Haas, and it's Levi Tiger Pants, the Alfa Romeo, who's up in a P4.
And it's not over just yet. Streeter trying to defend around the outside. Sicknick gets the inside line at Cover Grande, but no, that turns to the outside. Streeter takes his opportunity. Up into P2 he goes. 1.2 seconds ahead is Envy, and the race win eventually are on track. Before the stewards have a look at that 5 seconds, but it's not over just yet. Levi Tiger Pants on the fresh soft tires gets up into P3 right now, and Streeter right up ahead is there for the picking for P2 and possibly the race win as well. Envy, can he get away in this lap and a half to go?
It's still the penultimate lap after all, and a fairy tale run, if anyone, for the Alfa Romeo. And Sicknick is actually trailing, losing position, and now he's probably going to be threatened for position from his teammate Kuberabi, who'd probably make the pass, I like to think, on the main straight. But I'm still keeping my eyes fixed on that Levi Tiger Pants. But on the main straight, it looks like it will be the midfield battle or any part of the field at this point, all within a second of each other. RB, Ferrello, Kuberabi and Sicknick.
Oh, Levi's coming. I sense a dive around here into turn 1, and it is a dive coming around the outside. There's a little bit of contact. Levi Tiger Pants almost hustling Streeter around the outside, gets the better traction on the soft tires. Into P2 he goes. 2 seconds up ahead is the race win. Can he catch Envy? Can Envy pull away? It's gonna come down to the last few corners. Streeter into turn 4 though. Takes the inside line once again. Levi with the soft tires goes ahead. Oh, this has been a back and forth for a lap and a half.
What a way to really race around Monza. Clearly enough, Envy still in the lead as he enters into sector 2, but 3 seconds gap almost. Levi needs to pull off a miracle at this point, and probably won't be, as he was held up by Streeter quite a bit. Sicknick is in contention for a podium if he keeps it within more than half a second. I think he's gotten the podium seal, if you ask me. Kuberabi will he possibly make the pass on Sicknick? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, there's not much time left to make an overtake. The gaps are too big as we come across the last corner, passing Curva Arbaleto or whatever you call it, Parabolica, and rounds up the lap number 27 in Bwoah Racing League Italian GP. Envy wins the race for the nth time in Bwoah Racing League. Levi Tiger Pants, a valiant effort, comes home in P2. Streeter, well, who did finish in P3 just a moment ago, will come home in P6 thanks to that penalty. Kuberabi and Sicknick will finish side by side P3 and 4. What a finish for the Haas. RB Ferrello, a valiant effort as well. P5 for him on those soft tires. What an effort. Gambler, after a difficult race, comes across for P7. KDB, who's had a tougher race, I'd say, of the lot, will come home in P8.
Kuberabi eventually did make the pass on Sicknick, but what a race. It was Big Manjo, the Alfa Romeo, running in the top 3, and it was Levi Tiger Pants at the end of it. A charge from P12 all the way up into the podium position. Arguably could have nabbed the win if there were a couple of laps left, but a couple of laps is not something you get as you wish. 27 laps of racing, absolutely stellar.
Oh, Monza, Temple of Speed, where you come to pray, and I don't know, you can pray in KPH or MPH. but the results are going to be the same. We find ourselves in a familiar position. Envy, for the nth time, well, wins a race in Bwoah Racing League. This time around, round number 17 belongs to him as well, with the fastest lap, maximum points taken home for the Aston Martin team.
What a race! Every race we've been ending it with what a race, and we've been ending it with a sprint race of sorts in the last couple of laps. That folks would start questioning if it was scripted, which it definitely and surely is not. If anything, our field of drivers would like zero safety cars and no rain, no craziness out on track. There's more nice, clean racing. And it's the fastest lap, a nice, clean, fast lap from Envy that goes his way another point. And I think it's about time we start checking the stats because I'm sure Envy has a sizable lead into that championship and is probably closer than ever to nab it.
Yeah, we'll get those stats checked, Sarthak, by the time we head into round number 18, which is going to be Hungarian Grand Prix, a high downforce circuit, the opposite of Monza, where overtaking will not be the easiest. Nevertheless, it's a difficult track, it's a challenging track to drive. We will see y'all out on track once again next weekend, same time, same place. Well, not exactly the same place. We will be sitting in the same place. The drivers will be virtually driving in another part of Europe. So, Sarthak, thank you once again. It's been a pleasure to be commentating alongside you, and see you next week.
Yeah, treat as always. Cheers, folks.